Hi there everyone, it is currently the 3rd of January 2012. Out here in the Western Pacific today we have several areas that we're continuing to watch. First and foremost is a low pressure area just off the coast of Mindanao moving across the island. Today we're going to be bringing some heavy rain showers over the next several days, and already a few locations just along the east coast there reporting over 50 millimeters in the past 24 hours. So definitely another sore on the already pain out there in Mindanao, still recovering from Washi. Also, we're going to be looking at another tropical area over Thailand and Malaysia today, producing some flash floods out in that region. Actually, Francis put out a really good in-depth article on that region earlier today. Please go to the website and check that out. Also, a good slide showing a lot of the pictures taken out there. And lastly, in the next 2 to 3 days, we're expecting another cold surge to pour in out of Siberia and China and affect much of eastern Asia here, even extending down towards the northern Philippines with cooler temperatures. But first, let's talk about this low pressure area. Now, the good news is that this time it is fairly disorganized, and in reality there's a very low chance of this actually organizing into a significant tropical systems. Several factors playing into that right now, but the main one is just the disorganization currently with it. But the JTWC or NRL is already putting an inval stat on this. Invest 90W is what it's being dubbed right now, and also really no other agencies calling anything about this. JMA is not calling anything about it as well. So really the big threat with this system is not going to be so much of winds or pop-up thunderstorms with it, but with the continuous rainfall that it's going to be expected with it as it starts to track off towards the northwest, moving actually relatively slowly in the next several days. But here today on the 3rd, it's going to continue to linger just southwest of Palau here, and then eventually start to work its way off towards the west. This is the GFS model picking up on this, actually turning into a cyclonic rotation on the 8th and then into the 9th as it just skirts the southern portions of the Philippines before moving off towards the Sulu Sea. And this general direction kind of matches up with streamline analysis shown here, where it just kind of displays a light flow from the east towards the west, basically going across Mindanao and eventually just tracking off towards the west-southwest here with the monsoonal trough. And this monsoonal trough is basically lingering here all the way from Malaysia, extending over towards the Philippines. I actually put together a really primitive graphic here, kind of this, what I'm talking about here. The monsoonal trough kind of lingering all the way across the South China Sea over towards Thailand. See all this convective banding is all actually associated with sort of the same tropical system that is the northeast monsoon out here. But this is just showing that LPA over Mindanao starting to track off towards the northwest, monsoonal trough, and all the way on here on the left side of your screen, well, that's that rainfall plaguing much of Malaysia and southern Thailand now, and that's actually just putting more pain on the wounds that they saw earlier in September as well. So this entire region in here really getting a good dosage of rainfall in the past 6 months, not to mention the last several weeks. And for example, even in just the past 24 hours, look at some of these totals being put out by the WMO of 375.2 millimeters in the past 24 hours, 60, 50, 70, and as we continue to scroll down, we see these numbers continue to linger in the high double digits to low single, or excuse me, to the low triple digits just off the screen here towards the bottom here. So that's just kind of putting out here where this flooding is taking place. And please check out the website and check Francis's earlier update if you're watching this on YouTube. I'll put the link below on that flooding that's going on and occurring currently out there in much of Malaysia and Thailand. Now, good news is that across much this convection is really going to start to drift off towards the west over the Bay of Bengal, away from those countries, kind of reducing the effects of that rainfall here in the next couple days. And actually look out towards Wednesday and Thursday, you'll start to see a little bit ease in that convection. Diurnals are still going to affect with the sea breeze, so by the afternoon and evening hours, specifically in the center of the countries, those typical showers will still continue to occur. But my main concern right now is still this low pressure area moving across Mindanao in the next several days. And actually on this model outlook, you can see that trough continuing to linger there, and actually a little bit of dip here and just right around this area. That's just kind of indicating that troughing and really that rainfall continuing to push across, and I'm expecting to linger in this entire region at least throughout the rest of this week, as I was talking about yesterday. So with that, those rain totals continue and still possibly could build up across the southern Philippines. So something we definitely need to keep an eye on, and we'll continue to look for reports of those potential for flash floods out in this region, and also the potential for landslides. And this is actually the flood potential and landslide potential across the region produced by the TRMM satellite. And just look at some of these areas here across southern Visayas and northern Mindanao. Now this is based on the fact that the soil is already saturated. You're already seeing a lot of these rivers built up to the brink in the entire area due to the continuous rainfall they've been seeing. So that's another thing you want to take into a factor, is how saturated the soil is, besides the fact of how much rainfall and how continuous that rainfall is going to be. So 3 factors all being put into place here. Don't want to put any fears out here, but definitely something we need to continue to watch, and there is a potential for that localized flooding or for landslides. And lastly, I want to talk about temperatures here. We are expecting a cool down to start to push in across much of Korea into Japan by Wednesday and the Thursday. And actually, look at these. Actually, the rate on this line here, about the green that turns into blue, that's where that freezing temperature is being indicated. And actually, you can see several spots pop up across much of central Honshu here in the next several days into the latter part of the week, showing those temperatures drop below freezing. But also, even along the eastern coast of China here, you see those temperatures continuing to push down towards the south and even northern portions of Taiwan as well. So that cold surge also going to bring some gusty winds to the region. And if we just look at the highs forecast for tomorrow, you can see not so balmy here off towards the north, with a -5 actually expected for the high there in Seoul, 8 in Tokyo. But as you get farther down towards the south, still not much of a difference across much of the tropics. But that is all for right now. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. Thanks again for watching here at Western Pacific Weather, and look forward to giving you an update tomorrow. Bye.